Hey, Nuss Hyena here, and happy 621 Day! Yay! 621 Day celebrates all that is weird, wonderful, and huffy about the furry fandom. And to celebrate what's ooh-woo about furry, we've got some spicy segments for you today. I'm going to tell you how my neighbor found out I was a Murrsuiter. I'm going to speak to you sensually in a bathtub. Plus a bunch of other fun things from deleted videos. My name's Nuss Hyena, and this is the 621 special! Yay! And quickly before we get into it, make sure to follow my Twitch, where I'm raising money for trans rights. Follow my new Kick, where if we get 75 followers this month, I'm going to do a bathtub stream. Ooh woo. And also in the spirit of 621 Day, my OnlyFans is woo. I mean, what? So this is the somewhat embarrassing story about how my neighbor found out that I was a Murrsuiter. It was May of 2015, and I was wrapping up at the end of my first year at Pitt on a partial ride. This was my only non-chaotic year at college. And I had a pretty terrible work-life balance because I was on the mascot squad, which basically took over my entire life. And I loved being mascot, but I was a closet furry and in the queer closet at the time too. Being a mascot was definitely my identity at the time, but I would downplay it by saying things like, "Oh, I gotta go wear that panther suit." Just a humble bragging everywhere about having to wear an anthroform, which of course I secretly loved. Now this was at the very end of the school year, and most people had left the dorms at this point. Now, I lived in a single dorm. Now, a key detail, in my room for the second semester, I had a fursuit in there. So this suit, this wolf suit, I commissioned just after I turned 18. And it showed up some 3 years later when I was in the middle of mascot season. So as a closeted furry and queer person, you can imagine my confusion as I had panther suit and also hot wolf suit in my dorm at the same time. It was this bizarre crossing of worlds. Now my horny 18-year-old self commissioned this suit, so when this suit showed up, it was not at the front of my mind. I had so little correspondence from this maker who promised a 3-month delivery, I just figured it would take forever. And forever it did, but then it showed up in my dorm one day, in the mailroom, and I still remember putting on this wolf suit for the first time, and then having to mentally switch gears because my cheer coach wanted to pick up the panther suit for some maintenance. So I still vividly remember walking down with the panther stuff with this white fluff on my body, just hoping that they wouldn't notice, and they did not. So this wolf suit, while I really did enjoy wearing it, was this secret of mine. It was truly a secret because I kept my furry side private, and I wanted to be known as the goofy mascot guy, and I was not at all comfortable expressing this furry side, especially to non-furries. Now we jump back to May 2015. Almost everyone's moved out except for a couple of people, which included my friend Duncan. And by the way, I'm so sorry, Duncan, if you're watching this. You're probably not. Now, this is not a story of furry pride. It is a story of furry shame. Now, obviously these days, I'm a lot more shameless about my furriness, but you have to crawl before you walk. Now, I had been very, very cautious about letting anyone into my dorm room, and I don't remember why, but I let my friend in to show him something. It was probably booze related. So my friend Duncan comes into my dorm room for the first time. We are neighbors. And after picking up whatever he came around to pick up, he looks at my wolf bodysuit turned inside out. Now, key detail here. This is a Murrsuit. A Murrsuit is a fursuit which has the capability to be used for play, okay? For adult times. Now, this wolf suit was turned inside out, and some zippers were visible. So, as he grabs the item he's coming to borrow, he walks out the room and then glances at this wolf head that is sitting on the dresser. And he goes, "What's that?" And now I'm frozen because I forgot that it was sitting out. I think I'd been so relaxed at this point because everyone else had moved out that my guard was down. So I was like frozen, deer in headlights. And I say, "It's a wolf suit." And he goes, "Oh." And then he glances at the bodysuit, which is turned inside out. And he goes, "Is that a dick hole?" And me, with my furry shame at a 9 out of 10, I go, "No." And in 2015, I was not very good at handling the basic furry questions. So when confronted by my friend looking at my fursuit's SPH, I just denied it completely. Now, was it supposed to be out? No. But was it sitting out? Absolutely. Was I embarrassed? Oh my gosh, I was embarrassed, like 12 out of 10 embarrassed. So after I go no about the dick hole, he literally asks, "Are you sure?" So the awkwardness is like 11 out of 10. To which I exclaim, "Yes, it is." And I was just overcome with embarrassment and so much shame. But luckily, my friend was really cool about it. He's like, "It's okay." And I was like, you're never going to talk to me again." And he's like, "No, it's fine." Now, was it awkward? Of course it was awkward. But he was a good guy and did the best to not make it weird. And I was extremely insecure about having a kink at the time, because here I was passing myself off as the goofy, wacky mascot person when I really had a furry interest in anthros as well. So my friend was really nice at the time and helped me become a little less embarrassed about me having an AD interest in furry. I asked him, "Who's your biggest celebrity crush?" To which he responded, "Mila Kunis." And me looking for some kind of validation, because I was a lot more insecure about just everything back then, I asked, "If you could bang Mila Kunis but you had to wear that suit, would you?" Which he responded, "Yes." Now, I don't know why I needed that validation from my friend, because at the end of the day, with kinks, with AD interests, as long as it's not harming others, you do you, do what makes you happy. But I think because this was the first time I was confronted with the fact that I was into some alternative lifestyle stuff, I didn't know how to handle it, and I was very, very embarrassed about it. But luckily, my friend was super cool about it and kind of affirmed that, yes, what I'm into can be considered a little weird or unusual, but it's not that weird in the scheme of things. I just remember spending the rest of the day filled with this shame, and I probably asked 5 more questions like the "would you wear it in this case or this case?" The point is, if you have a standard furry kink, don't be embarrassed about it. There's so many other people who are into the same thing that you are, and don't be ashamed about it, because at the end of the day, everybody has unique interests, and some are more vanilla than others, but we are all in this life, and we might as well do the things that make us happy as long as it doesn't harm others. And if what you enjoy in the bedroom involves dressing up, well, all the power to you. Just find somebody else who has a similar interest. And this is the one thing that I didn't know back then that I want to impart to all of you all as a bit of wisdom. If you have niche kinks, niche sexual interests, sometimes it might be hard to find normies, like just random people at school or work who are into the same thing. But when you come into furry, we're actually very open about the things that we're into. And it's a lot easier to find like-minded people. So you could be on a campus of thousands of people and not find someone with the same kink or interest. But if you were to go to a furry convention or a furry site, you probably could find people with that common ground. Because furry is unusual. Most people will not have any interests involved in the AD side of furry. So yeah, the suit's always given off maybe a little bit of a horny vibe, let's be real. But I really do love wearing him, and I will give you the real reason why he hasn't seen the light of day for about a good 5 years. I thought that I had taken such bad care of this suit that he needed dramatic refurbishment. I'm talking to bleach every part, because I remember stuffing this into a suitcase and I thought he was a stinky boy. And then I left him in a suitcase for years, and I just figured, oh no, if I open it, I'm gonna find out that the suit is ruined. So I just procrastinated opening this suitcase for years. But the other week, I finally broke him out, and he's actually in great shape. I think sometimes we don't connect the most with a suit because of certain associations around the time that we got it, but I think I now have the confidence to rock a suit like this. It's got a certain aesthetic to it. NGL. But I really enjoy wearing him. And that's pretty much the gist of the video. Just wanted to show off another suit that I'm glad is in good shape. Bark, 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 bark. And I love the moving jaw. Hi, Murrsuiter here, and welcome to Bathtub Update, the show where I update you about things. Thanks for watching this video before Lorne Michaels and SNL give this video a copyright strike. And if you know me, you know I'm so consistent after starting a new series of content. So first thing that happened since I last uploaded, I turned 30. So I'm a daddy now. Roll some daddy footage. I'm such a top. No, turning 30 was really nice. I turned 30 at a convention, which softens the blow of aging. And this con, I didn't get a lot of pictures and videos, but I did make a lot of amazing memories. It reaches to your heart. Next update, we're going to lose the 100,000 subscriber mark. Cue the aww. I've kind of been in a street fight with the YouTube algorithm for a number of years, but I have to say I'm very, very fortunate to have been able to even reach 100K in the first place and have it for 3 years. And I'm just so grateful to have so many people who have wanted to watch my content and still watch my content. And for 7 years in a row, because this is the 7th year of me doing YouTube. This is crazy, right? I'm very, very grateful to have you along with me for the journey. My YouTube channel is shrinking. I have to do the obligatory selling of feet pictures and hot tub streams. That's why I'm in a bathtub. Oh, that was lucky. That was so lucky. Oh my god, daddy no. Daddy no. Daddy no. Daddy no. God. I don't know why that's so amusing to me.